Hello guys, Sakura the Diesel here. First off, I want to say Happy Father's Day to everyone, and welcome back to Thomas and Friends month. Well, to make this month a little fair, I decided to take a look at the CGI era of the show. Now, I know that a lot of Thomas fans have been complaining about this era for years, saying it is the worst thing that's happened to Thomas. But you have to admit, there are some things in the CGI era that does make it good. And I'm going to count down my top 10 best moments from the CGI era. So, without any further ado, let's get going. Number 10. James being pink. Now I know what you're thinking. Really? They're making James pink? Why? Well, when you think about it, they're making a Railway series moment with this. Like with Henry being red. But it's James being pink, so I guess it kinda works. The episode itself is kind of a little bland, but with James being pink it makes up for it, and it makes it a perfect spot on this list. Number 9. Adding more brake vans. Now this is something a lot of Thomas fans have been complaining about. They say that it don't show too much brake vans and it makes them look a little realistic. But when season 16 came out last year, they started to show more brake vans and more trains, and that's a good thing. Because, like they say, it makes them look realistic. And they keep doing that with season 17, and that is really good. So good that it deserves this spot on the list. Number 8. The secondary characters. Now what I mean by this, I mean characters like Birdie, Harold, and the Narrow Gauge Engines. Characters from the model era. Because, it's nice to see them again, even if it's just for marketing purposes. And it's also nice to see them, getting episodes to themselves. So I thought that was a fresh start. And there is one character that I'm glad is back, but we'll get to him later, because he is on this list anyway. Number 7. The animation and the set. Now I do like the model era and their settings and everything, but the camera angles, looking back on them, they're not so great as they were back then. And I'll be honest, when I first saw part of the CGI from Series 12, I really thought it was bad. I mean, it looked a little awkward and creepy. But when Hero of the Rails came out, they did a lot better with the animation and the camera angles. It was so great. It really does look like you're on a railway, and a railway that's on the number 7 station. Number 6. Diesel 10. Now, when I first heard that Diesel 10 was coming back, I was a little worried what Sharon would do to him. But when I saw Misty Island and Day of the Diesels, I was a little surprised. She did try to make Diesel 10 a villain, unlike that other movie. Sure, in the end, he did, turn good again, but he was still kind of his old evil self, and that was good enough for me. I mean, take a look at the scene from Misty Island and tell me what you think.
You'll be laughing on the other side of your boilers soon, silly steamers. Yes.
Now that is the Diesel 10 I know and admire ever since. Number 5. Butch. Now, going back to my number 8, I said there was one character I'm glad is back, and that is Butch. Now, I wasn't expecting Butch to speak. I thought maybe he would get like a simple cameo, like he does in every other series. But when he does speak, I thought his voice was great. And it's a voice I would expect him to use. It fits him perfectly. I'm glad we got to see more of him in season 16, because he really does deserve a little spot. And seeing him again was kind of nice as well. I hope we do see him again in Series 17. Number 4. The crash scene from James to the Rescue. Now in the CGI era, there's hardly any crash scenes from the Nigel studio. I mean, sure, we got a couple of them here and there, but some were a little unrealistic. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a little unrealistic too, but for what it's worth, it was kind of cool to see this crash. But then again, it wasn't as much any special, but for what it's worth, I guess it'll be nice to put this on the list. Number 3. The backstory. Which one? All of them. Well, except for one movie. Now, we said this time and time again. Sometimes we think that new characters like Charlie and Kevin are just there for marketing purposes, and they never give us a backstory or too much of a personality. And I thought we were going to see more of that with Hero of the Rails when it came out. When we first saw Hero and heard his backstory, it gave us a good reason to feel sorry for him, and that's what made him so likable. Now, Vicar, on the other hand, well, I did like him when he was in Hero of the Rails as well. I don't know if because he was helpful or if he was useful, but I still kind of liked him as well. And when we heard his backstory from Blue Mountain Mystery, I liked him even more, and it made perfect sense of why he sounded like a Spanish person. P.S. I'm not racist against Mexican people. I'm sure Mexican people are awesome. Props to them. Plus, seeing Luke's backstory was a little dark, and again, it was good enough for me, and it gave a likable personality as well. Number 2. Down in the stations. Where do I even begin with this one? This is probably the best thing that Hit has ever done with Thomas. I mean, think about it. What was the main reason why we like the Railway series and the classics? Because they were based on the real railway and with real problems on the railway. And this is sort of like that. Even though they don't have crashes or what happens to accidents, at least not yet. For one thing, at least they does show us a real British railway, and not like one of those cartoons. Plus, they also show us what engines and different railways would do. And I actually learned from something. Like now I know what they do when they start in the morning. Anything that teaches kids what is right has to do something right, and is most certain to be on this list. And the number 1 best CGI moment from this show is the flashback from Blue Mountain Mystery. I know some of you probably saw this coming, but I can't help it. They're just too good to ignore. I'll be honest, when I first heard they were going to show the classic episodes in Blue Mountain Mystery, I didn't believe it at first. I thought someone was just playing a joke. But when I saw a clip version of it, I was kind of surprised. And I love the way how they used it, and it looked great in CGI. Although I do agree with some people that they should have used the models for the flashback, but it was still good to see it for them to use. I think my personal favorite is the Thomas, because it looks just exactly like the one from the Railway series. Look at the clip and you'll see what I mean. They're just so good that I can't ignore it, and that's why I'm putting them on the number 1. And those are my top 10 favorite CGI moments altogether. Now, although the CGI series was crap, they still had some good stuff in it that made it worth watch over the years. And best props to Andrew Barron for making the new head writing and, well, for making it good again. But this is not the end of Thomas Month. Stay tuned, because we're going to take a look at another Thomas movie. So till then, again, happy Father's Day. See you all later. Take care.